fabric. It'd be fun just drunk that too. Brodhead Airport is literally, for being a little town in southern Wisconsin, we're known around the world. You say Brodhead Airport in aviation circles, and they say, oh, that's where the old airplanes are. So it was a natural home for the museum. There was a private collection of airplanes by a guy named Alfred and Lois Kelch, a husband and wife. The successful business people from the Milwaukee area. They actually had a airstrip over in Mequon, but they started Kelch Manufacturing in the late 1950s in Mequon, and they built all sorts of, they were pioneers in the injection molded plastics arena. They're credited with creating the process to mass produce the orange traffic cone. You know, things like that. We've got a cabinet full of things that came out of their factory here, a lot of common everyday items, but that's how they made their fortune. And Al was always, he was introduced to aviation at a very young age. He had an uncle who was a World War I era barnstormer. He grew up in rural Iowa, and Uncle Percy would come and land his airplane in the main street in Lakeview, Iowa. So he was hooked on old biplanes from an early age before they were even old. But with the success of his business, he was able to start collecting vintage aircraft, and he liked to concentrate on rarities, the kind of the lesser built ones, the unknown ones, and he amassed a pretty good collection over the years. So in 2012, they formed a nonprofit, the Kelch Aviation Museum. They hired me as executive director in 2014. We purchased this property that was immediately adjacent to the airport, and we just started fundraising. We used the trust for operating funds, and we started fundraising for the buildings. So this 12,000 square foot hangar here, beautiful new hangar, is full of airplanes. What do we have in here? 10 or 11 right now. We think we can fit about 14 or 15 in. We have 19 at our disposal. We currently own 13 vintage aircraft. These are all late 20s. I think our oldest airplane is a 27. We have two from 1927, and our newest is a 37. So all 20s and 30s, and that's what we call the golden age of aviation. The period between the wars, where most of the technical and engineering advancements were made by just regular people, not the military and not the government-funded stuff that came from World War II. There's a lot of museums out there that have World War II stuff, and there's a ton of museums that have the post-war stuff. We specifically wanted to focus just on golden age, 20s and 30s.